Saying is Carly Fiorina, regardless of what you think of her stewardship of HP, the fact of the matter is you need a little bit more than that when going for the brass ring, presumably the White House. Is she right? Dagan McDowell, Melissa Francis, Charlie Payne. Charles, what do you think?
No, it sounds a little bit funny coming from someone who was trying to become, what was it, governor?
She was running for governor. No,
yeah.
she was running for governor in 2010.
Carly ran for Senate.
Right, so governor, not necessarily president, but, you know, sort of the same sort of parameters, I think. She didn't start a dog catcher, so... Listen, and she also went on to talk about the fact that you are judged in a certain way in a political realm like you are with quarterly earnings. I just think this was I didn't like it. I thought it was unfortunate that she went this route.
See, I think you have to understand the backstory on these two. And like you mentioned, they were both running for a race in California in 2010, right. And voters couldn't distinguish between the two of them. I mean, they were both Republican tech CEOs who were rich, who were running for office. They feel like they were really different. But it's like anyone
God forbid
else
they have the same genitals, right?
Right.
You can't tell them apart.
Well, but it's like anyone else who's all up in your business during your career and shows up everywhere you go. I mean, like Charles and Neil together. There's naturally, you know, an annoyance, I think, between the two of them.
I didn't know. Do they have bad blood between them?
I think they do.
I mean, I didn't know that.
She's backing Chris Christie, so of course Meg Whitman is going to say that because she has to come up with some reason that she would back Chris Christie.
And she was a big backer of Mitt Romney when he was running for president.
Right, over Carly Fiorina. And by the way, history doesn't send a great message about a candidate or a nominee who has no political or military experience. Wendell Willkie is the only nominee of a major party who had neither of those lines of experience. Ooh. Wendell Willkie, and guess what? That's right. He didn't win the president.
He was a Democrat,
we've never had a president.
The old truth be told was his name. I mean, it had nothing to do. All right,
he did have a pretty cool name.
Then the question becomes, what are we to make of this? If you have a respected corporate titan like a Meg Whitman saying, you know, you do need a little bit of that other experience.
I just think you put an asterisk next to it. And I like the point you brought up. I forgot which one of them had the help the woman and
it
not
was
the
Meg
nanny.
Whitman. No, it was Meg Whitman.
So I mean, honestly, I think Meg Whitman sung both of their candidacies because when she got stuck with this woman, who, by the way, I think she was overpaying, but she went on TV and started crying. Both of their candidacies went down the tubes at the very same time because they both had a chance of winning.
You know, it's funny. Men are never brought up in this sort of thing, child care and all.
Kind of controversy
but no, which is sexist, right?
Yeah, it is.
But you know, you think about it, wouldn't that be sexist?
I think the two of them crowded out each other's campaign, and I would bet that there's still bad blood about that. I don't think that's a woman thing or a man thing. I think it's two people that were similar. They're both tech CEOs. I mean, now you even look at it. Meg Whitman, 10 years later, is at HP. She's still ostensibly cleaning up what was left behind by Carly Fiorina.
She's hitting it on the head because the issue for Carly Fiorina, it isn't so much, this is my opinion, that she has no political experience. It's that her record running HP was decidedly mixed, and she was fired.
So why hasn't she benefited more in the polls? We were showing the post-debate fallout. She's still mired in the back of the pack here, and yet from the one debate, not this one, but the one before, she was firing on all cylinders.
Because
what happened?
Well, one thing she keeps saying is, I would be the best candidate to run against Hillary Clinton. Why? Tell us why. You need to give us more of a reason. And she did not lay that out in the last debate.
Kind of reminds me, every now and then there's someone who will win the Academy Award for Best Actor, and then you never hear from them again. Like,
I don't know.
She still didn't have that it factor. Even though she had, after that second debate, she had the most momentum.
I don't think so.
I think she dropped the baton.
I think that she is eloquent and that she illuminates why she's a better candidate for women than Hillary Clinton, that she does drive a fine point that Hillary Clinton's policies really only back one woman herself. They don't help women at large, and that she does a good job of defending why democracy and free markets and capitalism are better for everyone, are better for families. I think she does do a good job of that. But she's done the best she can.
As a woman, or the fact that her corporate story, or conservative, or what?
I think she does it well as a speaker, that she's very good at talking. I think the fact that she doesn't have any political...
Melissa, does she really move
I think you have to be a good campaigner. It's one thing to be a good debater, but I mean, Barack Obama held his own against Hillary Clinton in debates.
Right.
He was considered to have gotten better by Hillary Clinton in those debates, but he was such a far superior campaigner. That's what people
She's not a people person per se, and that's why she's smiling too much, she's smiling too little. Maybe it's nitpicky kind of stuff, but that intangible that's hard to describe that obviously Donald Trump has, she doesn't have.
I mean, ironically enough, it was really Donald Trump who helped her break out in that debate in her response to him. Last week, you had people like Chris Christie and Rubio and Cruz really out and shining and kind of coming out like the grizzly bears that they are, and she just didn't do that.
Well, I've got you guys here. The president is going to make a decision on Keystone from Canada before the end of his administration.
I mean, I just
Now
We've got a
shake
new
my...
friendly
Will it be the
Republican
new
government.
right?
Yeah.
The new Prime Minister of Canada who is against the Keystone Pipeline himself?
No, he's not against
that's
it. He
right,
didn't
he's
like
not.
the jawboning that the former Prime Minister or the outgoing Prime Minister Harper made about it, made this cause.
Well, I know this
to
guy's
sort of
a real
stick-
serious progressive, I don't think he's going to say yes. I mean, is that what you were alluding to? Because he's doing it from Canada, maybe he's
I don't know what
his
I was
mind?
alluding to. Just that I think he's meeting with Trudeau on this. Of course, he's
Right.
Trudeau's
There's
son.
less of a
Right.
need for it right now. He can kind of get away
Well,
with it
yeah,
because
yeah.
oil.
But
Because of the
Trudeau
collapse.
wants it. Canadians want it. I think what the Liberal government said is that they didn't like the way Harper kept shoving it in Obama's face. There's got to be a better way to do it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, me either.
But I would think that the president and Trudeau would find some common ground here.
You would
Oh,
think,
he's
but
a
they've
mini
done
Obama.
crazier things.
He's supposedly a mini Obama. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
unions want the jobs here in the United States, and they've. And
But
Hillary Clinton is
environmentalists
still,
do not. Who wins? Hillary Clinton has sat her lot with the environmentalists.
which is
What does that
the
mean?
unions have a lot of money and a lot of power.
Okay.
And you're
do you
not
think,
siding with the pipe fitters.
I think that the EPA has produced report after report saying that it's not going to have a meaningful environmental impact. I mean, it's incredible to me that this thing isn't going through. So I would assume that it wouldn't go through again.
Remember,
because
she
it's
wants
never.
Hillary
yeah.
Clinton wants an investigation into Exxon and what they didn't tell us about the climate change research they did before they even bought Mobil. Remember?
It
the
sounds
bottom
like
line
he's
is-
going to do this from Canada.
If he's
Maybe.
doing it from Canada, you would think it was a yes. But I will fall off my chair onto the ground in shock. You should send a camera down to my office, and I will fall
If
off
you
it
fall
onto
off
the
your
ground.
chair. I would provide a
or
camera
at least
for
send
that.
an ambulance or something, because
Yeah.
I might hurt myself in shock.
I wouldn't send an
It
ambulance.
does, the
I'd
way
have a
they're setting
camera.
it up, it does sound like they're
It
going to do
does.
it, but
That's what I mean.
I will
it's-
pass out.
How ironic would it be,
onto
guys,
the
that
floor.
we're going to sell oil at the lows from the strategic reserve? You know,
Yeah.
and we're going to
This is
start
gonna
do the
further depress
pipeline.
that.
You know,
You know, there are a
how
lot of
ass backwards would
contractors
all
of
of
that
this be?
pipeline who are not interested
From an
anymore
economic
because
point of
it's
view.
too expensive.
Exactly.
Isn't that weird?
Or maybe it's the idea, didn't Hillary Clinton finally came out against this thing, so did that give Barack Obama the cover to then go in and
that
do
would be
it, and then she
hilarious.
can say that she was against it
Don't
and she didn't
forget,
want to
guys,
do it, and here it gets done, but he gave her the cover?
Last week, you had a major oil company give up on the tar sands. Then before that, they gave up on Arctic
Gets to
drilling.
be expensive.
The economic part of this, if the president likes it, it's hard. Yeah, you can like it at $40, but is it even feasible anymore?
Yeah. Someone said it has to be 65 to make it worthworthwhile. And we're, what,
I
46?
don't know, those
Yeah.
numbers change all the time.
They do. They do
Yeah.
change all the time. Thank you guys very, very much.